The United Nations Panel on Climate Change told the world on Monday that global warming was dangerously close to being out of control, and that humans were unequivocally to blame. Already, greenhouse gas levels in the atmosphere are high enough to guarantee climate disruption for decades if not centuries, the report from the scientists of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change warned. In other words, the deadly heat waves, gargantuan hurricanes and other weather extremes that are already happening will only become more severe. Monday alone saw 500,000 acres of forest burning in California, while in Venice tourists waded through ankle-deep water in St. Mark's Square. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres described the report as a code red for humanity. "The alarm bells are deafening," he said in a statement. "This report must sound a death knell for coal and fossil fuels, before they destroy our planet. Unless immediate, rapid and large-scale action is taken to reduce emissions," the report says, the average global temperature is likely to reach or cross the 1.5 degrees Celsius, 2.7 degrees Fahrenheit, warming threshold within 20 years. The pledges to cut emissions made so far are nowhere near enough to start reducing level of greenhouse gases, mostly carbon dioxide from burning fossil fuels, accumulated in the atmosphere. Governments and campaigners reacted to the findings with alarm. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson said he hoped the report would be a wake-up call for the world to take action now, before we meet in Glasgow. The 1.1°C warming already recorded has been enough to unleash disastrous weather. This year, heat waves killed hundreds in the Pacific Northwest and smashed records around the world. Wildfires fueled by heat and drought are sweeping away entire towns in the U.S. West, releasing record carbon dioxide emissions from Siberian forests, and driving Greeks to flee their homes by ferry. Further warming could mean that in some places, people could die just from going outside. But even to slow climate change, the report says, the world is running out of time. If emissions are slashed in the next decade, average temperatures could still be up 1.5°C by 2040 and possibly 1.6°C by 2060 before stabilizing. It could get even worse, if warming triggers feedback loops that release even more climate-warming carbon emissions, such as the melting of Arctic permafrost or the dieback of global forests. Under these high-emission scenarios, Earth could broil at temperatures 4.4°C above the pre-industrial average by the last 2 decades of this century.